we actually know about what's really out there is next to nothing. And as you can see, it's not what you expect. These creatures are 20 feet tall. Are these the creatures that are disappearing the hikers in forests around the country? If you look closely, you can see its fingers up on the side of its face. Though the camera is having trouble reading it, the symmetry is unmistakable. Reviewing footage like this, I can't help but think about the missing hikers. When all of the devices that you use in your research are being jammed, and yet the clips that come out of the expeditions from before the cameras died or the memory cards malfunction continue to hand you the exact same data stream, you keep going. Here we can see yet another individual. He's camouflaged heavily, but this individual appears to be close to 20 feet tall. And as we move through the frames, we're going to pause on this one particular frame, and you can see the quintessential Sasquatch face staring back at you there. It's really something that all of this has gone unnoticed by the general public. There he is. He's watching us. The habitat the creatures live in is typical, and that's the surprising part. There's nothing different about this place than, say, anywhere else. It's typical cow pasture, which, you know, lends the idea that this is typical cow pasture. And these giant creatures, like the one you see inside that circle, are obviously omnivore of some type. You know, we see evidence that some of the plant life in the tree species that do offer nutrition are being harvested. But the reality of this situation is the small game is simply not present here anymore. It's difficult to find the native reptile species that are supposed to be found in these areas, in this habitat. You can't find any of the typical small game, squirrels, possums, raccoons, that kind of stuff. They've all been removed and somehow replaced with cattle. That's right. All of these giant creatures are in a habitat that's a wildlife management area where hunters are allowed to hunt deer and do all this stuff, even though we talk to the hunters and they haven't seen a deer in the actual hunting area where it's allowed in years. They're releasing cattle here. For some reason, man, you're hiking through and you're getting challenged by full-on Brahma bulls.
All right, we're gonna try to go by them.
Pretty much every sign that there's something strange going on in this area is present. I mean, from the trees that are snapped off 25 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet off the ground in some cases, to the lack of every native species known to the state of Florida, to the presence of obvious prey species or food species, nutrition species, like cattle, in a well-known hunting area. These excuses are wearing thin. Giants are real. This one is 25 feet from the one we've been watching. Okay guys, this is an enormous creature that was watching me from the side in the prairie there, and he just kind of came forward and gave me a look. And you can see where he was kind of in the background, and then boom, he just kind of comes forward and a little bit to his left, like he just kind of shifts in position. But if we, look where we're at, we're about 160 to 170 yards away from this particular creature, and let's get in a little bit closer and let's take a look at what really is going on. Yeah, we've got an immense sasquatch here, man, and it appears to be like another one there, but this is his nose. His eyes are right there. You can see him as I move through this. There's a really big Bigfoot right there, and is there other ones there? It's definitely, certainly possible. I mean, I can see what look like the right skin elements and other movement, so yeah, it's possible. Is that what's blocking the view? Well, their hair, and look, we can see that there's pixelization here, man. We're getting blurred pixels, so the camera's going, I don't know what to do here. The colors are too close, there's no edge. It looks like one big blob, but then we're not sure about this. That's what that means when you see it. The camera says, I don't know. But the reality is we can see just fine. We all know what that is. The problem is this thing's head is about 6 feet tall. How much does this thing weigh? I don't know. I can tell you this, though. I'm going to go in and try to get some more footage of this enormous creature. So stick around, because we're dealing with enormos here on the Bigfoot Researcher's Journal. Picking up your camera gear. When you know what's going on here, the cool thing about this footage is you can see the other ones all over the place, and it's, is this 2 teeth sticking out? I don't know. Is it just, parts of the lip there? I don't know, but that is an immense creature, and there's no getting around it. You can see it. It's with the other ones. Looking at the footage, I've been able to get enough frames here to show that this thing is real. And I'm going to be trying to document this thing. I mean, you can see him. He's got somebody with him. I mean, it's like nuts. What's going on here is there's these groups that are hanging out with these enormous creatures. So are these the parents? I don't know, but it's obvious to me that, based on my own experience in examining film, that what we're staring at is in there. There's the mouth line, that spade shape where the nose is, and we've got these enormous eyes, and this thing is in there. It's changing position in subtle ways, leaning. You can see spots where the eye is showing through clearly, and we've also, I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. There's a huge creature in there that resembles the little ones, and it's startling, when we go through these frames, and we see that this enormous thing is there along with these other ones. Look at this little one right here, man. I mean, it's not so little, but I mean, they're enormous, and these frames are telling the story right here, man. We're getting all of this diffusion, and it's changing this creature's color. That's achromatic. That means colorless. It's pretty much the only thing that'll do that. Green stuff has a tendency to stay green. If it's white, it can change from green to brown like it's nothing, and we're seeing that, the color change. You're getting those color changes in there, and so I think we're staring at a giant, and I got news for you. This type of footage is not rare here. We've been pulling this data now for a while, and I'm just going back looking at a few old clips, and there is absolutely a giant hominoid right there. You can see it plain as day. What do you do? What do we do about this footage? I mean, what can you do? You try to study, you try to learn more. That's it. More will be revealed. This creature, though, this is 6 feet, is somewhere in this area. This thing is enormous. Giants are real, and this data is happening. It is what it is, and you see the repetitive nature of it. These things have been documented. Giants are real. You saw it first. Crypto Reality put all this together. The Florida Bigfoot study conducted by Crypto Reality. Giants are real. Welcome to the new America. Anything's possible. So guys, here's one that was hiding on the side there, and you can see him. He's actually blinking there, but check out this like bone structure here, man. I mean, it's nuts, right? And you can see like there's like some crazy looking hair coming off his head. I mean, this is like a 10 or 12 footer right here. I mean, that's crazy. Look at that thing. I'm gonna just pull this down a little bit. Oh, baby. Yeah, it's nuts. You can see that thing's face right there. It's got this kind of weird looking praying mantis off to the side eye, and it's really big too, man. You know, I was panning, so I'm lucky I got the shot. I mean, at least we got one frame of him that's clear. Favorite part of this is, you know, when I examine footage and we can see this creature right here, I get an opportunity to learn about the creatures, right? And the way they behave in their natural environment when they are around us, you know what I mean? Like, they're watching. You can see this thing over here, man. He's like changing expressions, and then there's something behind him. Huge, enormous. There's one right here for sure. If you watch this guy right here, unbelievable. He's just standing there watching. You can even see his little grimace. He's changing expressions, both nostrils. It's nuts. Now, see, I haven't altered this footage. Look at his eyes. This is a huge creature over here. It's just changing colors, and we've got a little smaller one, but this thing is all of 25 feet tall. This is a man-eater right here, man. Plain and simple. You're screwing around with this, you're risking your life. And it's obvious. We've got multiple creatures here. Fascinating footage. We're going to zoom in over here and take a look at him real quick. Excuse me. And let's, oh yeah, look at this guy. Now once once this renders, right, here we go. Watch this. Oh boy. What do we got there? Look at him, huh? Oh, he opened his eyes a little bit for us. Did we see that? Uh-oh. So we're learning a great deal about how these guys, look at that blinking, how these guys observe us. He's grimacing. You can see the line in between his brow ridge there. Eyes. This creature is all of 25 feet, man. There's no doubt. But look at the blinking that he's doing. I mean, look at this. He's squinting. He's moving his eyes. You can see it plainly. There he is up close. Now, we haven't changed the saturations or exposures yet on this. We were looking at him, and then it was obvious when I did the initials 3 months ago on this guy that these other ones were present. It was just a matter of, you know, getting in and trying to take a look. Let's get this in a little bit closer, and let's see what this big guy looks like in here. Let that render. There we go. And now we can see he's peeking at us. 25-foot hominoids are 100% real. Yeah, man, this is some cool footage. I mean, you can see that thing's there, and he's watching me, man. And it's like, it looks like it's like a giant monkey man, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like a cross between. And it's that upper lip, that long upper lip. Is this fingers on the side? Is that
you know, what's going on there, where there's some kind of a block and the color is so, you know, it's like obviously the computer in the camera is having trouble. The software is having trouble. That's the diffusion and the retransmission of all this diffused light coming off his skin. But just looking at it, you know, how do we get around this? Obviously eliminating aberration is really important. But in these conditions where you're shooting in the best times to document these creatures, you're typically, I've found, you're in high sunlight, and the diffusion rate is insanity, right? Because you're in, you know, midday kind of sunlight, or, you know, late morning sunlight kind of. I mean, look at this thing. You can see this big creature. Now this thing's enormous. Human beings about this tall. This thing's got a 6-foot head on it. We're looking at one of the 25-footers that's been leaving these big tracks we've been showing you. And we're working on going back in, and I'm going to be conducting some extensive tracking in this area. And I'm going to put this together. I'm going to put together some track profiles for you, and we're going to show some films on the tracks. But look at that. I mean, come on, guys. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? This is an immense creature. We can all see it. You can see it moving its mouth right there and everything, man.
The coolest part of my job is getting to learn about things that no one else knows, and or, you know, very few people. And I think probably really only people who you know, work for the government understand that. You look at this brow, and then these eyes and this nose. You can even see the bottom of, or, you know, the top of the bottom lip there. This is a huge giant, and there's several here with him. And you know, we're just looking at it, but you can see he's actually looking around, and you can see his eye looking left and right, left, right, left, right, and he opens his eye. I mean, that's pretty cool. He like that looks over at me. Whoop, he's looking at me. That's pretty crazy, man. That's a big dude in there. Really big dude. This part of the clip here, and I'm seeing something that's got to be 30 feet tall. You can plainly see it's in there. Here it is, man. That's insane. And yet, I've been watching this thing through this whole section of the clip, and the data is being reinforced. That's not an anomaly, man. This is a giant head, and it belongs to one of these giant creatures. There's a bunch of them in here. Look at this thing here. Man, these things are huge, and this thing is looking at me, and there's no doubt about it. It's changing colors and blending in, and I'm in there, and I'm freaking out. Here he is, man. That's your Bigfoot right there, dude. 30-foot giant captured on film. Achromatic giants blending in, going unnoticed by everyone. You saw it first right here on Crypto Reality. I'm studying these enormous creatures. We got this smug bottom lip here. You can see that color, and then under the nose, this huge sasquatch. Huge friggin' guy, right? Enormous. You can even see, you know, I mean, this thing's probably holding on to a tree or something ridiculous. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Is its arm going all the way over here? I don't know, man, but this is huge. And you know, we've been looking at it, and you can see he's in there moving around, looking. You know, that thing's alive. And it's just standing behind a few saplings, and it's got some trees that, you know, have like thin branches with thin leaves on it, but it's back there, and the diffusion is trying to do its work on us. But we can see it. We can see it in those frames. You're seeing this enormous giant, and we can get the edge of the creature. Here it is. You can see it, and it goes along with what we're seeing with the size. Unfortunately, guys, this thing is like, you know, 30 feet. That's King Kong in the flesh. Welcome to Crypto Reality. Stick around. There's a lot more.